Snow was already falling before 9 a.m. across parts of central Pennsylvania, and it will overspread the entire area over the next couple of hours. Temperatures were in the mid-30s in Harrisburg, York, and Lancaster. Snow accumulations of 4 to 6 inches of snow has been the general estimate from a variety of weather services, and winter storm warnings for the coastal storm are in effect until 10 p.m. Sunday. Some locations could see up to 8 inches, depending on how close the storm stays to the coast and what areas are hit by any intense bands of snow. Snow could fall as much as an inch or two an hour between 2 and 6 p.m. before the storm winds down, making it downright nasty to drive. That's also around the time that temperatures are expected to fall below freezing, so the snow should begin to accumulate quickly after 2 o'clock. The National Weather Service, NWS, issued a statement around 3 p.m. noting that multiple bands of heavy snow were consolidating over the lower Susquehanna Valley and Poconos, and would continue until around 6 as they moved to the east. Winds are gusting to around 20 miles per hour, making conditions even worse, the alert said. PennDOT posted a number of travel restrictions that went into effect on Sunday morning. By mid-afternoon, the agency had reduced speed limits on several stretches of highway in central Pennsylvania to 45 miles per hour. This is not just a Pennsylvania storm. Winter storm warnings extend as far south as extreme western North Carolina and eastern Kentucky and north to New England, covering all or parts of 10 states. Snowfall with the storm could reach 1 foot in the mountains of New England and, depending on the storm track, parts of Pennsylvania's Poconos and New York's Catskill Mountains could approach that number as well. A sharp northwestern cutoff to the accumulating snow is likely with the storm, so areas in western Pennsylvania and western and central New York are expecting little to no snow. Per the NWS forecast, the snow should begin to taper off after 6 p.m. and exit the area completely by mid-evening. The storm should make for, at least visually, a memorable NFL game in Philly. Snow is expected throughout the NFL divisional round game between the Eagles and Los Angeles Rams at Lincoln Financial Field. That game is scheduled to start at 3 p.m. Sunday. Snow showers are forecast throughout Sunday in Buffalo, where the other divisional round game between the Bills and Baltimore Ravens is set for a 6:30 p.m. start. Occasional snow showers are forecast for Sunday evening during the game, with temperatures falling into the teens. Whatever snow falls figures to hang around all week, as an Arctic front will bring a dangerous stretch of cold weather that will last into Thursday. Those dangerous wind chills already have moved Donald Trump's inauguration indoors on Monday, and figure to prompt numerous delays and cancellations that will affect everything from Martin Luther King Day events to flights to your school district. The lowest winds, chills, and temperatures are expected Monday and Tuesday night, according to the NWS, and it might take until Saturday for temperatures to climb back above freezing after today. The medical examiner was called after a car crashed off the Parkway East, plummeting down a hill and landing in a creek. PennDOT said around 9 a.m. Friday that eastbound I-376 was reduced to a single lane of traffic at the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. Around 11 a.m., PennDOT said the Parkway East was back open. Ross Guidotti reported from the scene that the SUV was coming out of the Squirrel Hill Tunnel when it went over a hillside near the Commercial Street Bridge and landed several hundred feet down into 9 Mile Run. What was hoped to be a rescue turned into a recovery mission. State police brought in a massive crane to remove the vehicle. The crash scene was initially inaccessible by vehicle. Heavy equipment doing work under the bridge helped in making a makeshift path down to where the sedan was located with the driver dead inside. It took hours before the vehicle was lifted from the creek bed. The victim of the crash was Josh Willey, a teacher at Penn Hills High School. PennDOT and the Pennsylvania Turnpike have placed restrictions on major highways Sunday as a major winter storm impacts the state. Motorists are advised to avoid all unnecessary travel. Snowfall rates of up to an inch per hour are possible, leading to treacherous travel conditions. PennDOT said while its crews will be working to keep roads as clear as possible during the storm, it will not be possible to keep them entirely free of snow. PennDOT has restricted many tractor-trailer and other vehicles from major highways and reduced speed limits. All commercial vehicles are permitted except loaded single trailers with chains or approved alternate traction devices. Additionally, all school buses, commercial buses, motor coaches, motorcycles, RVs/motorhomes, and passenger vehicles towing trailers are not permitted. The snowfall was disrupting airline flights along the Eastern Seaboard. Nearly 130 flights at New York City area airports were canceled and nearly 90 others were delayed, according to the FlightAware flight tracking service. Dozens of flights also were canceled or delayed at airports around Washington, D.C. and Boston. In New York City, Mayor Eric Adams urged city residents to take the subway and buses if they have to travel during the storm, making the task easier for crews to clear the streets. He said people who need help with heating or frozen pipes can call 311, and he asked residents to check on their neighbors during the frigid weather. Cold temperatures, high winds tomorrow could be dangerous, Adams told reporters on Saturday afternoon. We have to be here for each other and make sure our pets and other parts of New York are safe. The Weather Service said there was a chance of snow showers Sunday afternoon and evening in western New York State, where the Buffalo Bills are hosting the Baltimore Ravens in an NFL playoff game starting at 6:30 p.m. Heavier, lake-effect snow was expected in that part of the state Monday through Wednesday morning, with 2 feet to 3 feet, about 60 to 90 centimeters, possible in some areas including Oswego along Lake Ontario. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy declared a state emergency for all 21 counties in the Garden State. A winter storm warning was in effect for 10 counties in the northern part of the state, where 6 to 8 inches, 15 to 20 centimeters, of snow is expected to fall from Sunday afternoon through the late evening. Cities and towns were opening warming centers for the next several days to protect people from the freezing temperatures. Much of the Eastern Seaboard will be enduring some of the coldest temperatures this winter. An area from the Rockies into the northern plains will see colder than normal temperatures over several days, with temperatures dropping to -30 degrees Fahrenheit, -34 degrees Celsius, to -55 F, -48 C, on Sunday and Monday. Wind chills of -40 F, -40 C, were already recorded in parts of North Dakota and Minnesota. Sub-zero wind chills are forecast to reach as far south as Oklahoma and the Tennessee Valley. Minnesota residents were urged to wear appropriate clothing and carry a survival kit for travel. Christy Rollwagon, Director of Homeland Security and Emergency Management at the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, also urged motorists to drive with a full tank of gas and a fully charged cell phone to keep in touch with loved ones. It's not something we haven't experienced before, it's just a good reminder that it does get cold in Minnesota, Rollwagon said. The cold weather forecasted for Monday for Washington, D.C., prompted President-elect Donald Trump's inaugural ceremony to be moved inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. It's going to be a cold day in Washington, D.C. on Monday. That's for sure, Chenard said, noting temperatures will be in the 20s with wind gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour, 48 kilometers per hour. As happened earlier this month, this latest cold snap comes from a disruption in the polar vortex, the ring of cold air usually trapped about the North Pole. The cold air will moderate as it moves southward and eastward, but the central and eastern U.S. will still experience temperatures in the teens and 20s Monday into Tuesday, Chenard said. The Mid-Atlantic and Northeast also will have highs in the teens and 20s, lows in the single digits and below 0 degrees F, -18 C, and wind chills below 0. The colder temperatures will dip into the south early this week, where as many as 30 million people starting Monday could see a wintry mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. The unusual conditions are expected to stretch from Texas into northern Florida and the Carolinas. Impacts are expected starting Monday night in Texas and then spreading across the Gulf Coast and southeast on Tuesday into Wednesday. Frigid air combined with a low-pressure system over the Gulf is behind the storm, which could bring heavy snow just south of the Interstate 20 corridor across northern Louisiana and into Mississippi, and a mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain near the Interstate 10 corridor from Houston to Mobile, Alabama. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry on Saturday issued a state of emergency ahead of the severe weather, urging residents to prepare and keep watch on the forecast.